Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play What the Factorio? In this episode, we're gonna we're gonna keep working on our bus, to finally, hopefully get things working like huge bulk operations and automate all the things. Really want to get to the point where, like, I've learned my lesson in base Factorio about, like, getting away from handcrafting as soon as possible. And then, like, this Bobs and Angels stuff has made it impossible to follow through on my own lessons. Right! That's why we went back to town at the end of the last episode, was to make some undergrounds and things like that so that we could actually get our brick over there. I don't know if we need it right now, but although we do, because we need the brick to automate, say, wall construction, which would be nice. And I think there'll be a few other things. For example, steel furnaces would be very nice. Not that we have bulk steel production yet, but that sort of thing going on here. So I gotta wait just a scooch. I might even want to build a gap. Are you even working? Oh, you're not working! You've got no resources underneath you. Well, well, that doesn't really change much, because either way we're gonna need something, but it feels maybe a little less foolish to just do this. I don't know. I don't think it makes much of a difference one way or to other, but there we are. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna scooch downwards and get moved. You know what? Save time, we'll do that. We need to run and end up, I want to leave a gap of 2 over here just in case we need to fit some things in there and do some undergrounds and whatnot. Boom. I mean, I'm sort of doing this preemptively, but at the same time, like, we had to set up stone processing to a certain extent. It's slightly inconvenient. You know what? Nobody tell anyone. You didn't see nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't actually want to go that way. Never mind. We had to set up some stone processing to a certain extent for the purpose of just allowing our crushers to continue operating. So, yeah. All right, we're going to put the brick right next to the raw stone, which means, I guess I'll do that because it's a little awkward, but because of the loopy-loop thing going on there, but that's going to be fine. Wham. Yeah, I don't know how many things we're going to need stone for. And, you're going to need it... Whoops, we're going to need it for rail. I don't know. I suspect in Bob's there might be more things that actually need it. Or maybe there'll be fewer things that actually need it. I don't know nothing anymore. Everything I thought I knew about Factorio, which isn't much, has been rewritten and invalidated. Alright, this turret's doing some work over here, which is good. Yeah, we've got the basic circuit production going on there, which is quite nice. Kind of annoying when these things die on the track because they pollute the track with little red blops. That's something that actually is kind of frustrating. Huh. Now I'm like, I wish the aliens themselves didn't drop little red balls anymore and it was just their bases. Anywho, so what we want to do is we want to get the next level electronic circuit up. And I believe that's going to require lead stuff, right? Yeah, we need solder. We need the basic electronic components, which are not in this list, because why would they be? They're probably under, what, metallurgy? No, sir. Oh, here they are. Hold on. Yeah, that. Which needs tin, copper wire, and carbon. Right, this is the thing that's like, this is one of the first things that completely broke my brain. And why a lot of people say, you want to start with Bob's? Great. Leave out Bob's Electronics. So, the question here becomes a few things. Do we bus, say, tinned copper wire? Do we bus basic electronic components? Can we find out, like, what they're used in? That's not logistics. Tinned... Will this show me what they're used in? Or what they're used for, I should say, kind of thing? I guess not. I wonder if there's a way to find out. Because that's the ingredients to make it. Make tin wire coil. Oh, something can apparently make tin wire coil and make that. Okay, so but the primary way for us to make it is you get copper cable and you get tin plates. Well, I'm assuming tin plates, lead plates, we're going to want those on the bus. I'm going to bet we don't want to bus these. But yeah, tin and lead plates, we definitely want to get down here. So, I mean, really what we're doing now is we're doing the real base for the first time. Because what we were doing before, again, it was just that sort of learning kind of thing. I guess I'll convert you all into regular stone. Learning the basic workflow. And now it's about taking that workflow that we learned and implementing it in bulk. So, do we want to bus carbon? Probably, because it's actually a bit of a process to make carbon. I don't know how many things are going to use carbon, but it is a bit of a process to make it. This liquefier is where we end up with carbon. So we need 2 liquefiers. Well, and I think the ratios are the same, right? Because you're producing 50 carbon dioxide, so 25 carbon dioxide per second. Go away. And you need, okay, it's not an exact ratio of things. 35 carbon dioxide per 2 seconds. And you're producing 50 per 2 seconds. So you got to find like the lowest common multiplier or whatever the term is for that. Not the lowest common denominator, but there's another thingy we hadn't done. And right, we're getting the whole coal. So here's an interesting question. Do we bus coal? I wonder how many other things might need it. Like how many things might need coke directly, for example. I mean, I haven't seen anything so far that does. I wish I knew. I wish there was a way to find out how many things need a thing, as to whether or not we should bus. Well, I mean, I guess there's no harm. If the only thing that ever uses it is the electronic stuff, I mean, well then what I should do is just produce the electronic stuff sort of off to the side somewhere in an isolated area and then put that on a goddamn bus. That's actually what should happen. Make the gun turret over here. We always want more of those. We got all those fancy metal shit things. God damn. Because that needs it. And so far that's the only thing. But how many things? That's fine. I'm fine. Everything's okay. I'm not freaking out and losing it. I will beat this goddamn mod if it's the last freaking thing I ever do on my channel. I will beat this mod into submission. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Charcoal can be made entirely from a little patch of charcoal. Or sorry, carbon can be made entirely from a patch of coal. Yes, that is correct wording. It doesn't need any other resources. Okay, alright, fair enough. So, what we need is liquefiers. Liquefiers, which are petrochemical. Alright, we need some stone bricks. Now, whether or not we'll want to automate production of this later on, maybe, I don't know, but I think we're stuck sort of semi-making this stuff by hand. We actually need fewer of these than those. That being said, I'm really tempted to just keep this pairing up. So this one sits idle every now and again. But I mean, so I guess it's, what is it, like 35 divided by 50 gives us a ratio of 0.7. So if you say, just multiply that by 10, for example, then if you had 10 of these, you'd only need 7 of these, saving you a tiny microscopic amount of parts, saving you a little bit of power. But then you do have to build the pipes to connect everything up. I kind of like them just like side by side over here. Screw it. So we're going to go with an even number. So I will in fact build 20 liquefiers. That's probably way more than we need. I will in fact build 6 liquefiers. Because this is going to, each one of these produces 1.5 carbon per second. I mean, that's not full saturation of the input, assuming we need that much, and I'm not sure if we do. I think we're going to need a surprising amount, though. I mean, again, these you get 5 per cycle. Each carbon turns into 5, which is a lot. Okay, we're going to go with 12. So that'll be 6 pairs of this kind of assembly. All right, and then we need, I think we need these metal mixing furnaces to do a particular thingy. Where would they be? They would be here. I don't know how many of them we'll need, but they're pretty good to have around. So I'll make 10, because you make 2 coke per second, and this needs to be fed 1 coke per second. So we just need half as many of those. So we need exactly 6. So actually, we'll do that. There, exactly 6 of those. Awesome. Now, let's get ourselves some inserters, which are being produced over here. So we're pretty low on those yellows. We're completely out of red transport belts. We are also out of some of these intermediary little things, so we're going to want more of those, which mostly require us to pick up a ridiculous number of things. I might actually just want... Oh, I picked up that goddamn lab. I knew I would do that at some point. Didn't I? Oh, yeah, went to my belt. Because I had like a weird number of labs. Tell you what, let's just put it in a box. Boom. And boom. There. Don't want you. Did I not build 12 liquefiers? Oh, yeah, there they are. I guess they only stacked to 10. That's fine. But yeah, I'm actually, at this point, thinking, because we need so many stupid gears, that I should just have, like, you, right here. You're just going to be sitting around making gears for me. Now that I've got more belt space as well, I'm going to figure something out for that. Put you down there. Double stack of gears. There. Done. Just a little something something. Boop. Thank you. Okay. Because, yeah, that'll help with a large variety of different stuff. A few more undergrounds is actually a higher priority. Do I want to reorganize my belt? Yes, I do. I'm going to go and clear you. And what we're going to do is you're going to be yellow. You're going to be blue. We don't have any, but you're going to be red. God, there's a lot of stupid inserters in this version. You're going to be purple, which we need a lot more than usual. Because normally, actually, I'm going to do that. This is going to be stack inserters, which is the normal job. Express stack inserters. Wow. Are we defending successfully over here? Yeah, a little bit of damage, but so far so good. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking of just building, I don't know, if I build stuff here, then it'll be harder to, like, bring more goodies in, because this area will be a little too busy. So, maybe what I'll do, since we've already got this line, that's sapphirite, that's sapphirite. We've got some coal over here. And over here, tell you what, I'll just produce... I think I can fit it all in. I think I can fit all the carbon production right there. Let's find out. Okay, don't have the nanobots running because we don't need this to be being built right now. Copper's 100% backed up. Even the iron here is backing up. But that's actually what we'd want to do. Our little sort of setup over here, what I should kind of probably do is turn all this into a red line. And actually get some copper from the other thing. Because, I mean, iron's okay and then it runs dry. So, yeah, that would be the thing, is just to red transport belt that thing. Which I maybe should have done, but it was like, it's supposed to be temporary. Yeah, well, it turns out I've got a million things to do before we replace the so-called temporary thing. Turns out that's actually the most important base I'll probably build this entire run. Okay, so... if I do that, and then split off a little of this, and run you like this. Your job is to make carbon dioxide. Your job is to make carbon. So you will feed into each other properly. That's great. You will be dumping carbon onto this, but you need to be able to pick up coke, which I can probably just do off this line over here. Want to do a line of coke? Wait, hold on. Did I make that joke before? I don't think I did. Guys, I'm mixing it up a little bit because we didn't actually put coke on any belt. But yeah, we'll do a line of coke. Which is these metal mixing furnaces. Like this. Coke. Like that. something like this. And like that. And so that we can get symmetry after, I'm going to move you. Like this. And like that. We're going to override a little bit of material over here, but that's okay. So again, you're making the carbon, you're making the CO2. And here you're going to need to place. You place... The yellow's actually fine, but I guess we'll do the blue. It's going to be all right. And we do need some red. Okay, good. It's like if I don't have the ability to make them, I'm going to be slightly annoyed. Okay. We can scale this up well. If it turns out we need a lot more. So we got a fair degree of future-proofing. Like that. Not quite. Hold on. You are placing and placing. You're grabbing, grabbing, grabbing. Okay, and here you're grabbing, grabbing, but here you're placing, placing, placing. Okay, good. And you don't need to grab super fast, right? No, you're 2-second cycle, and you only need to grab one, so we can just go like that. I'm placing things this way because that's going to be the pattern of things later on. I need some more electric poles, which means I'm going to need more copper. Although, I am very close to copper, so it's going to be very easy to pick that up. We have a copper line that's fully saturated right over here. Thank you, and make me some more electric poles. Cheers. We need a coal line going over there. We could just wrap this one around, and I'm vaguely tempted to just do that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Ah, that's not what I wanted. I mean, puts a limit, I suppose, strictly speaking, on our scaling because we've only got so much room for things here. But I think that's going to be fine. Okay. Right, so we just need to do our coke. Can you grab from there? I actually don't know. Yep. You dump 2 per second. Oh, shit! It needs to be crushed! Arrgh! Everything was fitting in very nicely, but yes, that's right. You can't use charcoal as is. It's got to be crushed charcoal. What is our crushing rate on that? Would it show up here? I mean, I assume it's in a crusher. But it doesn't show the recipe there. Hold on. Over here, we are crushing, yeah, just a regular ore crusher, and it's got the recipe. Ore crusher. How come it doesn't show up in here? I don't know the build rate. Well, tell you what. Do I have any of these? No. Let's at least set up a few here. Because we still need to put in one missing one for our copper up top, so that's going to be okay. All right, you. Oh, it's under petrochemical, that's why. This gives us 2 per second. This takes in 2 per second. Oh, shit, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so we're just going to move this. Unfortunately. It's really 1-to-1, so, okay. that means we can just feed one into the other then. So 1, 2, 3 for that, and then one more for up top. So we got this. We need to expand this, but that's going to be okay in a second. Yeah, it produces 2 per second. And this requires 2 for every production run. So yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Bit of a size mismatch. Come on. I don't want to place this one blind, but I guess it is going to go there, so that's okay. We need blues. We're going to need a few more of those because of the grab rate. And then, yeah, you're just going to come in. Placing on a corner is fine. Grabbing from a corner is a little bit awkward, but placing on a corner is fine. What are we short on to make more of this? Oh, the electronic boards. So as I say, we've got plenty of material nearby being actively produced. So maybe that's something. Do I need this many? Nope, just every other one. There we go. Connect you up. And yeah, you will feed yourself like the fuel from this. So you're going to be fine. Like that. And you need to input 1 every second. So you're going to be fine to do this. You down there, copy. I can stretch you out this way. We're out of blues, so you can't do anything right now. Oh, recipe. Okay, there we go. Chook, 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 chook. You're not producing so much that you're saturating the one side of the red line. And you're now producing carbon. Okay. In a semi-scalable manner. Not super scalable, but semi. Let's get... we got a fair amount of guns over here. I will get one over here. Ooh, there we go. Just out of the way there. And we'll put some regular bullets in you, and that's going to be okay. I can pick up some of this stuff and actually just handcraft some regular bullets. Which need a lot of iron plates. Okay. Boom. Excellent. Backloading over there. Just for buffering purposes, in case we end up having like... Oh, I don't have another red splitter. Never mind. I was going to say we'll do a lane balancing thing, but it doesn't actually matter for this. We need more blues. We need this, but that's there, and then that's backlogged, and that's okay. And we've got underground, so I can route you places. One way or another, we're going to have to do crossing. I'll run you on top of the stone for now. So a little spaghetti, but, you know, not just barely any. Just barely. Certainly a lot better than it could be, given my complete lack of expertise and experience with this. And sort of pre-planning and stuff, but that's going to be alright. All the way over here. Whoop. Because I would have liked to put you underneath here, but we can't because there's stuff in the way. And then over here is where we will go like this. And I guess the carbon will route along here. I don't know if there's something else conceptually that would be a better fit, but there we go. Carbon! All right, so that's now nicely bussed. And it's expandable. Although, I mean, we may have to do, like, crazy amounts of expansion later on. But if it turns out we need ludicrous amounts of carbon, then the best thing to do is going to be to build a little train station somewhere. Like, just find a nice patch by itself. Because, again, it's totally self-sustaining. Hello, bugs. I think I gotta push a few of these nests back. That's what we're going to have to do very shortly. It's totally self-sustaining. You just need carbon and no other inputs, which is really wonderful. They shouldn't attack any of this stuff, which is okay. And right, this is reserved for like circuitry stuff, which is what's happening over there. So yeah, we can build a train station that very easily just, you know, around a patch of coal, converts everything into carbon, loads the carbon onto a train, and then ships it off over here if we need more inputs than what we've got now. But I suspect this is going to be more than enough to get our electronic devices going. The question is still whether or not we're going to need the carbon for anything else, and or whether or not we're going to want the electronic components to be on the bus. I suppose it's not that hard to make electronic components in place for things, because the electronic components themselves, well, I say that, hold on. As I say, the electronic components themselves just need the tin, copper wire, and the carbon. The problem is, the tin, copper wire, do we want that on a bus? I'm tempted to say no for this, but then as such, it would be really annoying to keep making basic electronic components in place. So I think what we do is we put these on a bus. And produce at 2.5 per second, which might not be insane. So we tin some copper in place, which we can easily do. Because we need to get tin plates, we need to get lead on here. Like, I think that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep getting all the resources on here, fully saturate two sides of a red bar. So tin and lead is probably our next steps, and we already produce those. Now lead is completely straightforward, right? We crush, I think this is what's making it here. I can't get anything on my mouse for the info, but I think just crushing the rubite gives us lead, and just crushing the bobonium is giving us tin. It's either vice versa. So, ideally, what would be really nice is to keep expanding our basic crushing and smelting compound over here. Because that way we can keep dumping the stone into an area that's already designed for it. You know, just keep routing stuff into here. Oh, I could use a radar right there. There's a little bit of bobonium, not much. Rubite way over here. There's no rubite over there, which is kind of annoying. Do we have train tech? Because I can certainly see something like bob smelting, like crushing and smelting, and rubite smelting. You know, crushing and smelting, so that they can feed their stone into there. Jovolite is going to be a thing as well. We might want that smelting there, but like maybe we move the rubite over here, where we've actually got some, so we could actually save ourselves from some training, right? So this is the rubite or whatever it is smelting area over here. Jivolite. Now, I don't know if you end up smelting the jivolite. You might just crush it. Oh, that is a big swarm. You might just crush it and then use those bits for something else. That might be not quite the right title for that area. But there's enough room over there, I think, that for basic processing of most things until we figure out what the fuck the next level version of it is, which is apparently doing something like combining 2 sapphirite with 2 jivolite, and then that turns into a bunch of iron and maybe a slightly more materially efficient way. Repair that shit. So you're still doing good. Oh yeah, I do have like a bunch of Mark II turrets over here. And not that this is the world's most critical area, but it's, I mean, it's something. Pick up this goop. Pick up some of this goop over here. I guess we'll put in another cut. Oh. Part of me wants to do a very quickie little job to get tin and lead over here. But I think it's worth trying to set it up properly. Which probably means the next episode's going to be all pushing back this stuff. Oh, there's a ton of rubite over here. I might have been okay with saying the rubite smelting here and the jivolite, which we don't even need right now. You know what? We'll figure out the jivolite later. This will be the rubite, which actually isn't even the right term for it. What it really is we're going for, assuming you get tin from this and lead from the other, that's actually what this is. We might have to invert these two, but it's tin and lead smelting. We're going to happen to get that from crushing bobonium and rubite right now. But it's actually that smelting. Just like here, I could flag these to say right here is our copper smelting and our iron smelting. Because the thing is, I think the iron smelting and copper smelting is good and long term. I mean, we might end up needing more than just this, but imagine we're upgrading it to steel smelters and so on and so forth. The only question mark is the crushing aspect of it, right? So here, sapphirite crushing. I mean, that's what it is, but is it that forever? And over here we have staritite, I think, crushing. Again, question mark because it's a temporary idea. Stone processing is this whole area. Not even there. I'm going to put it right here. Stone processing. There. So that way, when we crush our bob and our rubite, we'll get some stone. We throw it into stone processing. Just not so much that we need this much stuff right now, although we may need some, but mostly to try to keep draining the warehouse over here, which currently is not draining, but that's just, yeah. We could probably in here put a buffer, a warehouse as a buffer for a freaking stone. I kind of like that idea, actually. Like a giant chest array. But without needing to do the array. I think we probably will do exactly that, just to make sure that this never backs up so much that our entire smelting operation comes to a halt. All right, we'll put a cut in here. Next episode, we'll probably be pushing back, so I need to make sure to get lots of ammo. Apparently, we need some radar cover and stuff over here, although, do I have a radar in my pocket? I, in fact, do not. So we'll still have to handcraft a few of these, push that back, get another ginormous smelting operation underway, which, I mean, I've got a bunch of stone on me, so I could make some steel furnaces, but I'll just keep making stone furnaces for now, and then, because we don't need vast amounts of speed of it right now. We just need it to exist, and we don't have a ton of steel smelting, which actually is the other thing. Steel smelting, well, we could put a couple of lines of steel smelting right over here. It's not very scalable, though. It'd be nice to do it in, like, the proper final area. And that would be steel that would mostly be, like, pulling stuff off of our iron lines to do that. And that's not necessarily what we want long-term. Although, again, I'm gambling. I don't know if this is true. I'm gambling that we're not going to need as much raw iron long-term in the Bob's version of things as we do in vanilla. So maybe what I could do is actually grab two of these lines here, feed it into our steel smelting, and then go from there. At the very least, it's actually a great spot, and we can fit, if we use this version over here, right, and align it, but leave maybe a gap of 2. We could actually fit 4 in here. Oh, without any real work. I didn't realize, like, there's literally no overlap. Thought, like, oh, maybe, you know, if we move things over or whatever, but no, we can literally fit 4 steel lines in there, as is. This gets a little cluttered. We actually just might want to move it slightly to the north or something. Well, no, that's actually okay, because I can have the iron come around here and feed back into there. We can move this copper. Like, we can move the stone over. Yeah, let's just do that. We'll move the stone over. We'll move the copper over a little, because we have very little of it done. That gives us more room over on this side. And yeah, we get some steel smelting down over there. Maybe not the most future-proof in terms of space, and if we want to do some train stuff to bring this stuff around. Actually, that'll be the big question mark. Like, because even here, that's going to be kind of crowded. Yeah, I don't think we put it there. I think we put it somewhere else. I think we do grab some lines off of this, but I think what we'll do is we'll route some of this iron up to, say, over here. Set up our steel smelting. Oh my god, that is so many goddamn bugs. Okay, I gotta put a cut in here so I can start the next part and actually go and kill some goddamn insects. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.